have working injectors and to do a cylinder cutout test to determine if we have a dead cylinder or not. So the first thing we want to do is we need to identify what type of connector we need. And to do so, simply look here at our connector. It's a 6-pin connector, which we've already predetermined. So we have the 6-pin J connector right here, which we're going to hook up. So our connector's hooked up. The next thing we need to ensure is that we have power. We want the ignition switch in the on position, but the engine not running, just to make sure our system is able to talk to the ECM. Alright. So what we need to do is energize our batteries first. Alright, so we have power going to our system. Our dash lights came on, and so we're going to open up the jowl test. Alright, so like I said, we already determined if we had a 6-pin or a 9-pin, so we're going to connect here on the 6-pin. So pretty much what it's doing is it's talking to the ECMs on board by determining the VIN, the type of engine, and the electronic information that it needs to properly communicate and bring the information up to display what we are looking for with our truck. And so right now, as you can see across the top, it's reading for fault codes. Alright, so we're done reading our fault codes. So we're going to click on our engine. And so as it's connecting, like I was saying, it's reading our ECM to see if there's any fault codes and getting system information so it can bring us the correct data that we need to look at. And so the first thing we're going to be doing is conducting an injector buzz test. So we're going to go to System Check, Injector Buzz Test. Alright, so what this is going to do is it's going to go through and test each injector individually to make sure it's getting the proper voltage to adequately supply the correct amount of fuel into each cylinder to allow each cylinder to put out the power it needs. So it talks about the injectors are going to be automatically energized, and if they work properly, a series of clicks must be heard. So what we're going to do is once we start it, we're going to go over and we're going to listen for the series of clicks. It's a 6-cylinder, so we're listening for 6 clicks. Alright. So to do this, the key must be on with the engine stopped, which we've already done. And so we're going to start it. Alright, I don't know if you can hear it clicking, but it's going through and testing each injector, and it's getting a reading to see if it's working properly. Alright, it's done processing. And so here on our display, as you can see, we have 2 injectors that are okay, and the other 4 have failed. So we know our injectors are bad, and we need to replace those injectors. The next thing we're going to do is a cylinder cutout test. And what we're doing is we're checking to make sure our cylinders are producing the correct compression to make sure we have good cylinders. If they're not, then they're essentially what's known as dead cylinders. And with dead cylinders, we take further corrective actions from there. Alright, so the first thing we're going to do is our cylinder cutout test. We're going to do the automatic process. Alright, so like I said, it allows you to evaluate and verify the state of the injectors while they are operating, and it tells you if you have a good cylinder or not. And so, to do this test, we need to fire our engine off. On and is idling, and as one is checked, starting at idle with the parking brake activated. And we're doing the automatic one at a time. And what we're looking for is changes on the RPMs here. And cylinder 1 is off and it went up. So we know cylinder 1 is good. As moving on to cylinder 2, as you can see, it's evened out, letting us know everything's working evenly. Cylinder 2 is cut off, so cylinder 2 is working good and properly like it's supposed to, and it's going to go through one at a time testing each cylinder. Alright, with cylinder 3, in this portion it was on, and in this portion it's off, so we know cylinder 3 is not working properly, so we know we need to take further corrective action for cylinder 3. So we conducted an injector buzz test, and only 2 of our injectors were good. And we also performed a cylinder cutout test, letting us know that cylinder 3 has a problem. So at this point, we would take corrective actions to determine what exactly our issues are at this time.